sis. I'm pretty sure he meant biscuits.
episode, man. We back again. Biscuits and gravy.
Yes, sir.
Hope y'all had a good week. My boy Lynn. It's been like a little bit of a grueling summer, bro. Like, there's been a lot going on this summer.
I cannot deny that, bro.
There's been a lot going on. Nonetheless, we're going to get through it, man.
And it's been hot, bro. It's been hot.
Extremely hot.
Like a different kind of hot.
Yeah, like the heat's changing.
I'm expecting people to die. Like heat stroke.
Right.
Like it's crazy hot, man.
Man, I had a take on it. I'm like, man, like, is it that are we like just toxic to the earth and it's trying to like eliminate us? You know what I mean? Like, is it like y'all are like bad for me? Like, I'm gonna get rid of y'all.
Gee whiz, bro. If that's the way it's gonna incinerators.
Right.
It's hot.
Yeah. But
it's hot.
It's like you get the opposite though. Like in the winter, not down here, but like up north, they've had like polar vortexes.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Polar vortex.
I've never heard of it before that.
In the United States, I'm like,
no.
Okay. I remember this winter. It was like, I don't know. It was like they had a polar vortex in the northeast, and it was like almost 20 below or more, something like that.
How does one survive?
Well, my thing was like, in terms of like the entire Earth and like surface area, that's not that far from here, and it was nowhere near that cold. How could it be that cold there and nowhere near that here? We're still like in the 80s.
Yes.
And how is that possible?
Well, I can't rationalize it. I can't figure it out. Like I have no clue. My son came to me, Isaiah, and said, "Dad, why is it so hot?" And I'm like, "Well, son, it's summer." He's like, "I know it's summer. I get it." But why? He could not even wrap his mind around the heat. It's like, I know it's summer. I get it. I've lived through at least 14 of them. Like, why is this so hot? This is different. You better stay hydrated, dude. You better stay hydrated and stay inside. That's not the topic, but I just thought about it.
Right.
It's
yeah.
hot.
So the topic for this week, man, we are like officially turning it in, man. Even though we both really kind of turned it in like a long time ago. You longer than me, but this is like official. We giving up game today. Like we
about to Steve Harvey.
We about to Steve Harvey. I can't believe
we about to Steve Harvey.
Yeah. maybe we can do it inconspicuously or something. I don't know. Bad. It's like grit your teeth. Like, we shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, I just feel as if
it's wrong. Like,
it's not my place.
This is not my place
to do this. So, we snitching. Dry snitching.
Yeah. We snitching before.
Unprovoked.
Right. Well, I guess at least we give the alley-oop to all the dudes too. You got to come up with a new game because we giving this one up. We finna put it out there for the ladies.
Or turn in the game.
Yeah. But so what we plan on doing today was we're gonna discuss, talk about, and probe through a lot of the things that men will do. Some of the telltale signs that you can see from a man if he is truly up to no good versus if he is truly into you and interested in a relationship or something long term with you. And let's clear. I want to clear one thing up. If you want to understand why a man does certain things or how a man does certain things or why certain things have happened to you, you have to ask a man.
Absolutely.
Your homegirl don't know. Like,
no.
Your mama don't know.
I agree with that.
Yeah, you have to ask.
And you should ask. If you're able, I think the person off the top of my head will be the most forthcoming is your father.
Probably, yes. Absolutely.
Because more than likely he played the game and he wants what's best for his child.
So let's put it this way: any positive male figure that you've had in your life.
Yes.
It could be uncle. It could be a older brother. Like, they will literally give you the game. The thing is, you have to listen.
Yeah, you have to listen. Also, don't think that a dude, for the most part, and that's always an exception to the rule, who you're dating and being intimate with or have been intimate with in the past, if you were in a relationship, that he's going to give you the game wholeheartedly.
Right.
Because more than likely he's not.
No, absolutely not. Especially it's in terms of maturity, and that just comes with time.
Absolutely.
But the thing about the maturity is you never know when a man is there. Just because he's older doesn't mean he's there.
Oh, absolutely not.
You know what I'm saying? Or just because he's young doesn't mean he's not there. You know what I mean? It just depends. So it's hard to kind of gauge and judge that. To be a true judge of that character, that takes a lot more time and investment than this is like a whole different episode to see if he's really truly there or not. But we call it a game because it's literally what it is. It is a game.
Sure it is.
There's a period of time that I think we all go through where we fiend for what we think that we don't need. And we get to a point where we understand that having more women does not make us more man. That's why the chase never ends.
It's insatiable.
It's insatiable. You'll never get fulfilled. We'll never get fulfilled by just whether it be dating, fornicating, whatever it may be with multiple, or numerous women. It may be a talking point in conversation with friends or homeboys, whatever, or something like that. But as soon as it's over, it does not satisfy whatever kind of void we were trying to fill. It literally is meaningless. It means nothing. And I feel that could be the same thing for women as well. On the other side, they could be meaningless to them.
That's absolutely right. Nowadays, dudes are. It's almost as if dudes are changing the role with women. Mm-hmm. Like they're wanting, and not everyone. They're being more emotional than the women are. And the women are starting to be like, well, if they can do it, I can do it too. And we're hiding it behind, we just want to be sexually liberated. Excuse me. Think about this for a second. When I was coming up, you called a girl a slut. That was not good.
Right.
Now they have slut walks.
Right.
And annually, and thousands of women are being accepted to that. I'm going to tell you this right now. That ain't good.
No.
And, if you think you can put on a mantra of a man, you can for a while, mm-hmm. but what separates you is the fact that women, and whether you agree with this or not, are way more emotional than we are.
True.
And emotionally vested. Mm-hmm. Whereas a man, even for me, especially when I was out there in that world, and I'm going to be transparent like I always am, I could sleep with you and not know your name. Could care less about your name. Could care less if I ever saw you again. Especially when I was out there in that world, I would prefer not to see you again. After it was done, on to the next one. And I'm already starting giving the game. Yeah. Whereas most women, typically, if they're going to cheat, now they are whores. And that's just the bottom line. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not trying to offend anybody. There's some women who are just promiscuous and whores. That, as there are men the same way, but the stigma is different. However, and I'm not saying that's right or wrong. That's just what it is. Most women cheat because they are lacking something in a relationship, or they're trying to fulfill a need, and they have to go through multiple people for that. Whereas men, we could be in a perfect relationship. The woman is doing everything. We have everything we always thought we wanted to fulfill us, and we'll still cheat. In fact, we will cheat with a woman who's not as attractive as you are.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
A lot of times they have nothing to do with it.
No, absolutely not.
Nothing to do with it.
No, it doesn't. And go ahead.
I think a part of that is even in situations like that is when a woman tries to make sense out of it. They're searching for an understanding, and they'll never find, because it has nothing to do with that.
No, absolutely not.
Finding her, that didn't matter.
No, it doesn't. And there are some dudes who lack intimacy, and make no mistakes about it, do need intimacy, and males need to be their ego. Unfortunately, we need our ego stroked. Yeah. You know what I mean? We need to be lifted up. we like that. That plays to our pride and ego. Mm-hmm. But another thing that us men will do is, if you got a dude or you're in a situation and it's been going on years and he is not willing to commit to you, mm-hmm. or if he's not being transparent nowadays with certain things like his cell phone, he's got to have a code, he's guarded by it. Mm-hmm. Like, if he has a code, it's cool. It should be no question when you ask him for the code. It shouldn't be a problem if he's not hiding something. Like, if he's got a social media account, it should be no issue for you to have his login information and be able to check his DM. Right. Or it should be no issue, in terms of you questioning him and wondering where he's going. Mm-hmm. You have to trust your women's intuition. That's a real thing. But if a guy is guarded and does not want to disclose these things to you, that's a red flag. Also, on the flip side, right. You need to be willing to disclose that same type of transparency, exactly. if that's what you're searching for. Right. And if you're trying to be committed.
And then, I guess it's more of a question, and this popped in my head. Do you think that there's a balance to it? Meaning that if for a man, or a woman, either one, is willing to disclose this information and not hiding this information, will tell you the passcode, will tell you the passwords or whatever it may be, will give those to you, right? Without any discourse, no thoughts about it, right? To show you that you can trust me, I'm not doing nothing behind your back, and I'm not on that. I'm on the straight and narrow. But then you actually have to go use it. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to give it to you, but then you acted upon it and went and actually used it. You know what I'm saying? Would that create a problem? Because now this shows that your lack of trust.
Well, yeah. I mean, it does, but, I'll give you an example for the sake of transparency. I may get yelled at after this. But it's cool. I sent my brother-in-law a text message months ago, right? Mm-hmm. And a particular text message, me and my wife were just having a conversation about something, and we were not having an argument, but a disagreement. Mm-hmm. And she said, well, you sent this text to such and such, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, but how do you even know I sent this text? I sent the text to my brother-in-law. How do you even know that? Because I go to sleep early, Chase, you know that. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, how do you even know that? Like, how do you know? Well, she said, well, I was looking for something through your phone. I'm like, okay, you looking for something through my phone?
What?
Yeah. I said, what? Chase, let me tell you something, Doc. I'm still waiting on her to tell me what she was looking for, because her response to me was, I can't remember. You can't remember. Okay, so what I'm asking you is, let me help you out. Whatever it was you were looking for, it was in my text messages, to the point where you scroll down days, literally. Chase, I started laughing. I said, so I said to her then, Shauna, what is it that I'm doing that makes you feel insecure or make you feel like I'm doing something where you need to check my phone? Because I don't check hers. Right. The point of the matter, this whole story is this. Sometimes women just have insecurities, just like men. Mm-hmm. We just hide ours better. We have them too. We hide ours better. Sure. But, my pride won't let me go through her phone. And when she went through the phone, Chase, she was able to go through the phone because she knew the password. Mm-hmm. I was able to chuckle at it because I wasn't hiding anything. And then there was a time when I was younger, I would flip it around and be like, you don't trust me? No, I took the blame. I took the brunt. What am I doing? And that's maturity in a relationship. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just your own mind, your own psyche. Mm-hmm. And if a man truly loves you and has nothing to hide, it won't be an issue for him to address those things. Right. And vice versa. It won't be an issue. Right. And honestly, Chase, listen, man, I had a bunch of girls. It's not a secret. Like, I'm very transparent about it. And I remember talking to my cousin, him and I had bought my first home and we were living together as roommates. And I said, how is it that this was the first start of my transformation? And trust me, it didn't happen overnight. I said, how is it that I have so many women, and I had, but yet I feel so alone? It was one of the weakest things I thought that ever come out of my mouth, but it was authentic.
100% honest.
And that was the start, in my opinion, on my transformation of realizing this thing is an insatiable thing. And the thing I'm lacking is not going to be fulfilled by several women. But we as men will tag women along and play on their emotion. We'll do it.
Oh, and I'm glad you said that, because this is a point I want to get to. And one of the things as far as my thinking, and I felt that as well, as to why you felt that way, is because, like, although there may have been multiple women, none of them knew you. None of them knew you. You didn't know me.
Not the true essence of who I was. They knew what I was showing them.
Yeah, exactly. In the emotional part, it gets me to the thing that, and I'm sure you've done it too, which makes it so easy, right? And I'm gonna tell you, ladies, listen up. This is your own damn fault. It's your fault.
Chase, you can't put the blame on. Well, let you finish first.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the blame on them because of this, right? The way you and I both have gotten ourselves into these situations with women is literally by listening. If I listen long enough,
they'll tell us everything.
You'll tell me everything that I need to pretend to be to get whatever I want.
There it is. We want the vagina, Che.
Right, and that's it. Like, you will tell me whatever I need to pretend to be.
Yes, make it plain.
You will confide in me your pain. You will open up to me trying to find an understanding from your pain of the past.
Even if you with somebody. Even if you're actively with somebody, you'll do it.
Something that you're frustrated with, something that's hurt you, or whether you've been lied to, cheated on, maybe situations with children, whatever. You want to be heard, you want to be listened to, you've been trying to be listened to at home, and you're not feeling like you're being heard. And oftentimes, because the difference is the fact that the person that you're in a relationship with actually does love you. Whether he just done wrong, right, whatever, you can hurt somebody and still love them. He does love you.
Oh, absolutely.
So when you communicate, right, you both go into a conversation ready to talk and not listen. Now, when the side dude come along or whatever, and the conversation starts, you start to give your ideology about relationships and what it should be, and we listen. You start to open up a little bit more about what's going on at home, and we listen. It's the exact thing what you're looking for at home, but you're not getting what you're getting it from me. Right? The difference is I can listen because I'm not emotionally invested. Right? I'm not insulted because you're hurt by something, or I'm not insulted by whatever is going on, in your home life. Right? You know how to fight with me. It's easy. So I just listen. And eventually, I take your side. I take your side and I tell you all the things that I would do different if it were me.
And I will for a moment.
All the while encouraging you to stick it out and not leave him. Because I don't want you to leave him.
No,
I'm not trying to commit.
No, you need to stay with him. I just want you for a moment. Right. And then you can go back to him.
Right.
And we will absolutely. And then while we are encouraging you to not leave and stay with him, you are thinking in your mind, this is an awesome dude. What man would say that? Right. What man would do that? Normal men, immature guys who have not been seasoned enough, will try to dog the dude. No, we'll build him up. Well, there's some good qualities about him. Mm-hmm. This and that and the third. And all the while, you're thinking about what kind of dude would do this and how good the other dude is. Right. When it's a mirage, we selling you wolf tickets. Listen to me.
Wolf tickets.
I have literally gone through trains, planes, and automobiles for vagina. We were the depths. The depths in which we would travel.
And all I was breaking was wolf tickets. All I had with me was wolf tickets.
Boy, selling out of them. Selling them out.
I ain't got no cake, no pies, no cookies, but I got this ticket, buddy.
There it is. If you don't think that men play on women's intelligence, and not intelligence, their emotions, picture this, right? Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, how people are amazed how a dude who's not that intelligent can get a lawyer or somebody with a CEO of a company. That's foolishness. Like, I'm in awe how people are shocked by it because they're playing their emotional women, so they play on it. That's how he got them. That's how he got her. Think about this for a minute, Chase. We all can concede overwhelmingly that astronauts are some of the smartest people on the planet Earth.
Correct.
And I told you the story before, I think. And this woman was having an affair with a fellow astronaut, right? She knew he had a wife. She knew he had a family. And she understood that. But she was so emotionally invested, right? Till she literally became a stalker to this guy and drove cross country, not willing to stop to eat or to even relieve herself. She put a diaper on, Chase. She put a diaper on and was willing, she did, pissed and possibly crapped on herself, but kept driving in order to meet this guy.
I can't stop.
And so you'd be like, okay, she must be stupid. No, she's very intelligent. She's emotionally unstable based on the wolf tickets that this man has sold to her. Trust me, she ain't acting like that for no reason. Another thing on game for the women, and there's another thing, Chase. The women who are being cheated on will forgive the man and hate the woman who's cheating with him. Come on now. And we will apologize. He did it.
He did it. I'm telling you, he did it.
You knew he had a girl, but so did he.
Yeah.
So did he. Listen, if a man likes you or interested in you, and this is something you should think about, we would do whatever. Take you out, wine and dine you, do this and that and the third. You know, when you're being loved by a man, he shouldn't have to tell you that. You should be able to feel it. Right. You should see it. You should show. Stop being so concerned and listening to the words that he's saying, and listen to his body language, the things that he's not saying.
Right.
And watch that. If a man telling you he's single and this and that, he's got his own crib, but you can never come over except for at night, red flag. Right? Yeah. If a man's not willing to introduce you to his intimate family, his parents, or whatever, the 4, 5, 6 months, red flag. If a man is not, if he doesn't answer his phone regularly, usually when you sense a change in a man, your woman's intuition antenna stands up. You have to pay attention to those things and be devoid of emotion.
Yeah.
And just look at what he's telling you without saying it. The
intuition thing is huge because
it's for real.
I look back at like times that I've been accused of stuff, and almost all the time she was right.
Oh my God, my wife, especially while we were dating, used to always catch me, and I couldn't figure it out. She would just feel a certain way, and I couldn't figure. And let me tell you another thing too. Me personally, I will lie.
Oh yeah.
Until you prove you got facts. I'll start crying if I need to, Chase. I'm talking about the depths. We giving too much game.
Way too much game.
My eyes will welt up
after us.
if need be to make this thing. And then after all that, I was cheating again.
Shaq Davis, Steve Harvey, and Lynn Roberts.
There it is. They better come out to Steve Harvey. He got way more money than we got.
Way more. Go get Steve.
I don't have no money, but I got plenty of bullets. But like we will go through those things. I think women, like you said, you have to stop listening to all other women about these things and believe what they're showing you more than what they're saying to you.
Right.
Because, come on, Chase. And I know another thing that kills them too, Chase?
What's that?
And they're not going to like this. Women are materialistic and driven by what a man has. Like, check this out, right?
Yeah, especially now. Yeah.
Yes. I've had my own house since I was about 23 or 24. I bought my first house around that age. I can't remember. So I got my own house. I have a career. And I have my own car. So I'm immediately above above the majority. Like, I'm literally 85% I'm above. So I'm in the 15th percentile with just that. And if somebody don't believe that, you can check your statistics. It doesn't hurt that I'm a decent looking dude. It doesn't hurt that I got the gift of gab, if you will. I can speak to a woman. I'm not intimidated by that. Now, you see all that, and you think, oh, I want to be a part of that. Mm-hmm. We will give you that mirage, but the fact of the matter is that's my stuff, not yours.
For sure. Especially
it's my stuff.
We selling wolf tickets.
There it is. It's my stuff, it's not yours. I will put it in your face like they do those carrots to those horses to make them run fast. I'll show you it, but you will never have it. Never. It ain't happening. So a strong woman also, be mindful that, yes, be willing to work hard and get your own. Mm-hmm. And also be willing to come together. Don't be just moved. It's like high school. I got the big rims, I got the big car, now you drawing to that.
Yep.
Come on, man, then you acting surprised. You want the thugs. Some women want thugs. That's all they want. All you want is thugs. I've seen it all my life. But when the dudes start acting thuggish, you surprised.
Yeah.
He got you pregnant, and a whole bunch of other girls pregnant, you surprised. He'll take care of your kids, you surprised. Come on, man. For real.
Right. And to me, you know, and this is a new like, you know, development in my life, but I've literally now been on both sides of the fact that, you know, like good guys finish last. I've been on both sides of that now. Like when I was a fool, like you couldn't get enough of me. Like, but when stuff's like starting to straighten up or whatever, it's like it doesn't make sense. And on top of that, it's like I feel like the emotional, the part of a woman, the searching for a feeling is so like infectious that it does not matter, even if it's a facade. I remember a song T.I. did not too long ago, and one of the lyrics was he said, "Tip, I just want to feel love, even if I know it ain't real love."
Oh yeah,
right. Even if I know a nigga finna hit and never call back, I still fuck.
Yeah, that's what he told about a story about a girl he was dating.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And that's real. He wasn't kidding. That's not
that's
that woman.
And he mentioned that I'm not gonna mention her name.
Have you ever thought that? And we've seen this before, right? A woman can, you know, talk to whatever, you know, have an affair with a man that is either in a relationship or married or whatever, right? And be content in that for years, right?
Oh God,
content, right?
They will accept the role as being the second girl.
Have you ever considered that is because we know that women need security? Have you ever considered that is one of the most securest things that there could possibly be? And I'm gonna explain why. If there is trauma from the past, right, and there's some unresolved issues from the past or whatever with the past relationship, or even maybe she's in a relationship or whatever and not getting what she needs, still in love with the guy, still loves him, but don't want to leave him, whatever, right? The security of that relationship means that she can get the facade of all the things that she has to have as a woman, right, to feel, you know what I'm saying, and like the affection, you know what I'm saying, the communication, and the security. The security lies in the fact that I can pretend with you for as long as I need to pretend with you, and it'll hold me in a position so I don't really have to leave my past. And I also never have to commit to you. Because if I were to do this with a guy who was, say, single, right, eventually, if it got serious, he would wonder why I was not willing to commit. So I'm secure in the fact that I never have to actually leave this holding place. I can just search for that feeling when I need it, get it from you, and then go back to my holding place and hold me at bay till I get over my past, or he straighten himself out. When he straighten out, I get rid of you, or something like that. It is extremely secure.
Well, I know for a fact that that's true because I've had women, and these are intelligent women, have smart, beautiful women, have careers, have told me, well, you got to realize that you got two girlfriends. They were willing to accept that role. And think about all these dudes who are polygamists.
Yeah.
Think about how ridiculous that is. Let's talk about that for a second. I can have as many wives as I want, but the moment you want to do the same to me and have a different man, this is over.
Whoop, get out of there.
But you agree to that.
Give me back your wolf ticket.
It's over. Yeah, I'm going to give this to your home girl because she'll take it. You know, another thing is, if you got a real good man, notes to the women, and he's, you know, fulfilling your needs, doing his thing, you might want to minimize your conversation with your closest friend. Because the very thing you're celebrating, it will intrigue her in her mind. I'm trying to tell you. So you might want to keep that to yourself. Too much. And if we sit there and listen, you'll tell us everything we need to hear, and then we will in turn use it to get exactly what we want.
Right. Are you adding value to the wolf ticket?
Absolutely you are. In fact, you're making it easier to exchange. You know, you're making it easy. But I think you have to get to a point, because we both have daughters, Chase, to a point where you love yourself enough to set boundaries.
Yes.
To set boundaries. And I know Steve Harvey came out with a book that was a bestseller, several of them, that you should wait this amount of time. There's no certain amount of time that you have to wait, in my opinion. You just have to go based on how you feel and what they're showing you. I was saying, if you've been shown something by a person over and over again, believe them.
Yes.
If they're showing you this character flaw, because they always say, how do they say it? Hindsight is 20/20.
Mm-hmm.
You can look back and think about this, and we ignore them based on our emotions. Most women listen to what they're telling you. I remember my wife, right before, and even being closer to God was the biggest thing for me. My wife said to me one time, well, she was planning to move. At the time, I think to Orlando if she finished school, and at that time, I wanted her to leave. Like, oh God, I want this broad to go away. Not that she was doing anything wrong. It's that I just didn't want no one girl. I wanted a bunch of them. You know, and excuse me, she had to get to a point where she almost gave me an ultimatum to make me examine. And at the time, even though you give me the ultimatum, I'm like, all right, well, you can do whatever it is you want to feel comfortable. I was never disrespectful. If you want to leave, you can leave. Like, you can do whatever it is you want to do. If you think I'm going to chase after you or fight over you, and even to this day, I won't fight. Excuse me. I won't fight over a woman. Like, if you're being pulled away from another man, well, actually, I won't say what I won't do, because I've learned in life that life can make you out a liar.
Yeah.
But at that moment, especially, I'm like, I'm not going to fight over you. If you want to go, just go. Whatever. I'm not saying it's not going to hurt. Just go. Even if you have to leave, the man will come to himself and be like, I made a terrible mistake. Mm-hmm. This is where I was supposed to be all the time. This is where I can go and find another girl, but there's nothing that fulfills me like this. And that you have to, excuse me, have enough confidence in yourself and who you are to be willing to do that. Because men will run you through the ground and pass you on from one man to the other. It has no bearings on what the age is. We will do it over and over again and leave you empty. There's women who's probably listening to this podcast, Chase, who have had men sell them wolf tickets, give themselves to the man, and the man goes back home to wherever he's going, and she's left there feeling empty.
What?
Feeling like crap.
Come on, man.
Feeling like crap. But yet, it's like Stockholm Syndrome. They'll go back and do it again.
Because no matter, the thing about a man is that no matter what he told you, no matter what he made you believe, this is the truth. If the man did not want to be there, he would be gone. He'd be gone if he didn't want to be there.
You say what?
I said if a man was in a relationship or in a marriage or whatever it was, if he wanted to be gone, he'd be gone.
Oh, sure.
Right. And so don't all that, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm waiting on this, or I want to do this, or I don't know what I should do, or it's about the kids or whatever. Because me being a father, I got to be with you.
No, absolutely
I got to be with you. I'm not worried.
I'm a living witness.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a father regardless.
I'm witness.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. I'm gonna be a father regardless. If he wanted to be gone, he'd be gone.
Yes.
And that's always gonna be true. So whatever he said, no. Now you may be in limbo. No. If he was ready to go, he gone.
He's playing on your emotions And nobody wants to be alone, especially women. And you guys think about that clock that's ticking. And another thing, you got to stop comparing yourselves to other people and the stages they are in their lives. Because when you do, oh, she's got a husband, she had a wedding, I've been to so many weddings, they got kids, they got this and that and the third. And now you're trying to get that and you just settle for things. Your mind is so focused on obtaining that in this clock in your head till you miss significant signs that the person's showing you. And you find yourself going from one man to the other. And we'll continue to do that. Think about this, Chase, and I may catch some heat about this, but it's whatever, man. Women are far more so easily manipulated to the point, here it is, I'm about to say it, where they can be straight with 3 to 4 kids, and because of hurt and confusion, now they like women. like you got 3 kids, so it's obvious you like penis, but now you dating a woman who's put on the munch of a man because she's meeting those needs based on your hurt. Chase, I don't care how many times I've been hurt or heartbroken by a woman, it's not going to turn me gay.
Absolutely not.
It's not happening. Like, under no circumstances, that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? And most dudes who are gay, they've been gay since babies. You know it. There's no flip-flop. It's no flip-flop. You know, and I'm not casting the spurs. I'm just keeping it real. If you say it ain't the truth, whatever, just look. You can look around and see this. The point of the matter is, you are being manipulated based on your emotions. Keep your emotions in check, so you don't feel those. If it's like you're searching for that feeling,
it's not about your emotions. You gave a whole sermon series. Get out your feelings. It's not.
You got to get out of it.
Nothing ever is going to be about your feelings. It ain't about how you feel. You know what I'm saying? The thing about it is that you try to place like logic and emotions and make them run together.
And it's impossible.
It's not.
It's all in vinegar.
That, right? There's a time and place
for
everything.
Oil and water.
Right? Oil and water.
Well, I said oil and vinegar. Oil and vinegar on subs.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, like logic and your emotions, they're never going to. It's almost like they're always in a vex. They're always fighting against each other, right?
They're in enmity with one another, just like the flesh and the spirit.
Exactly. Like there's a time when it comes to be logical, and there's a time where you need to let your emotions, you know what I'm saying, maybe lead the way. And that's normally when you are with the man that you do love and can trust, or in a marriage or in a relationship that has gone beyond, you know what I'm saying, like the honeymoon phase. That's when you're going to let your emotions kind of guide you in that relationship. Right? To go outside the relationship looking for the feeling or whatever, like somebody's going to really, like you're not just adding more damage or picking up more baggage, is illogical. And
absolutely it is.
I've said this for years, right? Even when I was a young man, I said the downfall of relationships, especially of ethnic relationships, is that men are stupid. We do stupid stuff.
Oh, God, yes.
Women are irrational.
Yes, which makes them, even, in my opinion, and it's going to take some, even, how can I say, less than stupid. They're beneath stupid. Because when they become so emotional, they become irrational, and they can't even think logically. Like, you have lost your mind. It's like you are willing to burn the entire house down, and you live in the house. It's your house.
Yeah.
You're going to burn. I do whatever. You know, and we have to bring that into subjection. It's like, and another thing, too. Even if you're in a relationship, here's something that's ridiculous that I hear. I'm bored in this relationship. Really?
You bored?
You bored like you are a child, and therefore you look for excitement. You're going to get that excitement, but at the end of that excitement, it's going to be a lot of confusion, heartache, and turmoil. Mm-hmm. The grass is not always greener on the other side. No. Most of the time, it's a facade. It's fake. They're putting their best foot forward. I'll give you an analogy, and this is what came in my head. Because we're giving game, may as well give it all.
Might as well give it up.
I used to see women like a car, a brand new car. Mm-hmm. I want this car. It's safe, so this car I've negotiated for it. If I have to put down payments down, I'll do that. Whatever it takes, I really want this car. I'll do whatever. I want this car. If I got to save, I want it. But as soon as I drive this car off the lot, it depreciates immediately. As soon as I've gotten what I wanted from you, oh my God, I'm ready to move on. Whatever value you brought to me, it has depreciated. I'm done. But how does that leave you? And we have to realize, and I'm not saying that every guy's like that. I'm not saying that you have to put time on what you do. You're an adult. I'm saying is, once the test drive is over and they treat you differently, the phone calls are getting more and more far and few in between. They're not opening the doors like they used to. Be mindful of it and be willing to open your mouth and be immediately. I think you should start it early. If you've been in a relationship 3 or 4 months, 3 or 4 months ago, I was just thinking that there was a time you would open the door. There was a time you would do this. Remind him. Sometimes it needs reminding because we are stupid. And sometimes it tests like, how deep is your love for me? Will you take this correction? Because another thing we are very good at is flipping it around on you. I found this number in your phone. Why were you in my phone? That's the flip. That's the flip. We've got you so disheveled, you're thinking about why you're in our phone when the biggest issue is the fact that not only am I in your phone, I'm supposed to be your girl. There's a whole bunch of bras in there.
Right. We almost like we have you feeling guilty about going through the phone, even though you found something that was
absolutely.
That you feel guilty for going through the phone, even though you found exactly what you're looking
for.
We are
completely
in the wrong.
Deflection, and we will do it all day long, and you will find yourself confused. And then after you sit down, but this joker using deflection on me, and yet we'll be able to do it again. Women are very forgiving, man. And we take advantage of that. Well, we used to take advantage of that.
And another thing, and which is bad that we did take advantage of, because sometimes they forget that when it comes to forgiving, they were not wrong. You were wrong to forgive.
No.
We were the ones that were wrong.
Sure.
To take advantage of your forgiving spirit. Like, we were wrong for that. So don't stop being forgiving. It's hard, but don't stop being forgiving. We were wrong, you were right. Another thing I want to say to look out for, and this might be, for me at least, I don't know, for me, is if I'm truly interested in you, you will get my support for nothing. That's something that I can give you for nothing. And when I say I don't want anything from it, is when I mean it. That is a sign. If you get support from a man, and he says he doesn't want anything, even if you may, you may be apprehensive about it. You may think that, whatever, he's trying to play games or he's full of whatever. But then he does something for you or he supports you in some kind of way and he truly does not want anything. That is the dude who's probably interested in you for real.
That's huge.
That's the one. That's the sign right there. Like, he really didn't ask me for nothing. He really didn't want nothing. He really ain't try to hit it. He ain't try to come over here. He ain't try to nothing. I had a problem or issue. I needed help, whatever it was, and he showed up. He did it, and that was it. That's the sign. That's the one that you're not gonna pay attention to. That's the one that ain't attractive though. That's stupid. Like what? You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're being sold. Well, first of all, nowadays a lot of women are just looking at. Most women are looking for materialism. There's some dudes who don't have money, don't have the good credit, but have a work ethic, and they are on their way up. And you will not give them the slightest chance based on what their situation is right now.
And when it changes, it's too late.
There it is. And you'll go to the next guy who don't give a damn about you, but because he has a Mercedes or a Benz or a Lamborghini. Let me be clear. I want to say this slowly. That's his stuff. That's his stuff. Yeah. That ain't yours. When my wife and I were together, we both had nothing. We've grown together to get things.
Right.
There's called a work in progress. How is it that we as men can accept you while you're on the bus stop?
Yeah.
I've done it before, Chase. I put down on the girl at a bus stop.
Pull over.
I pulled right over in my car. That's how good she looked to me. And I'm glad I did at the time. I ain't care nothing about no bus. You can be the janitor. It makes me no difference because I don't need your money. I can make money on. But the point I'm trying to make is, and those were some good people. I screwed those relationships over there. I was a professional relationship screw up. But some good people with character. You won't give that gal the opportunity, the time of day, because you cannot see past where he is at that moment.
Yeah.
He could be on his way up, and he's showing you every sign. But because you're so materialistic and being fooled by all these women who are giving you fake narratives, you think that's the reality. A real woman can obtain those things on her own, and a strong man will support her and let her fly.
Yeah. And another thing I'll throw in there is be mindful of the tone because it matters a lot, right? It's hard to sound like a player when you're being truthful.
Oh, very difficult.
You can't really sound slick. You can't sound like you're trying to be, conniving. You can't sound like you're trying to put a move on a woman if you're being honest and truthful. So if a man is being truthful and he sounds truthful and there's no, it's really not no slick talking nothing like that, he's probably is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Test him again too.
Yeah.
Test them again. If you ask them something, because we forget quick, and especially when it's an attractive woman in our face, we don't even think properly. If you ask them something a month ago, ask him the same question, maybe in a different way, a month later, and see what his response is. See what his response is. And if he's consistent, you might want to trust it. Another thing, too, when a dude's lying, when you ask a question, they would get very defensive. Very defensive. To the point all dogmatically upset. Why are you questioning me? Oh, your answer has been answered in the question and based on his response.
As opposed to the opposite. So the opposite is if you question him and he does not get defensive, but he gets insulted. If he's insulted that you would insinuate that he's doing something behind your back or doing something wrong, that's another sign that it's a progressive sign, meaning that he's done. I told you I wouldn't do that to you. What have I? Or trying to figure out, like you said, what have I done to make you feel like that? How would you think that I'm doing that? Like I'm insulted.
That's genuine.
I'm insulted. I'm hurt that you thought that I would do that to you.
You're taking it back. It's like, right? Like what? What have I done to make you think that? Yeah. Now, oftentimes, not every time, and this is with anybody, the insecurities that you're putting on another person, especially if they're genuine, are based on the life you live in the dark.
That's true. That's true.
It's based on the life you're living. You want to accuse me all the time because you know you ain't doing right. Right. Your own conscience is beating up at you, and now you are trying to put that same energy on me. If you want, listen, this is a real thing, reaping what you sow. God knows I've lived it. Oh, if you want...
He was not playing.
He wasn't playing. And he cannot lie. If you want a good relationship and all these things, you have to be willing to, make yourself vulnerable. Yeah. You have to come with no preconceived notions. Like you have to make yourself vulnerable to love. Because in that vulnerability is the true essence of who you are. And you will be found by a person who's just as vulnerable as you. And now you grow together. Not that you're insecure or that you can't succeed or anything like that. You're afraid. And a lot of men, I'm afraid to give myself to you. There's strength in that vulnerability. Yes. Because you being less prompt to do that can make you miss your blessing.
Right, because you don't know what's in the strength is so powerful, but it's so scary at the same time because you don't know what's on the other side of that vulnerability.
No, you don't.
You don't know, but then you gotta do it anyway.
Trust fall. You gotta fall.
Anyway. Trust fall. Fall. Right? You know what I'm saying? You will never find the truth if you don't open up and be vulnerable. You won't find it.
Do you believe in love at first sight? I've never experienced it, but I've heard stories of it.
Love at first sight.
I have no lust at first sight, but I've never. But I've never experienced love at first sight. Right. That's me.
Love at first sight. I don't know. I don't think I've ever experienced it either, but I mean, I don't doubt that it could be possible.
No, I don't either. I've seen it. Well, I haven't seen it, but I know people who've experienced it.
Yeah,
they're still together.
I don't doubt that it could be possible, because to say that you could limit love to not be able to have love at first sight is almost like limiting Christ, limiting God. God is love, so I can't limit.
That's
God.
a fact,
right? So if you
is there such thing as too?
What?
Go ahead.
There's such thing as
too much love. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're overbearing. Like, this person's overbearing. Like, oh my God, it's like they love me too much. They don't want to let me breathe. That's the real thing, Chase.
Right. I think it's just it's misguided or misdirected. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the issue is with the amount of love or it being too much love. I think it's just misdirected. And how to fix that, I'm not sure. I think it may depend on the situation and the person and what they're actually doing. But I just think I think it's like a scary, beautiful thing. You know what I mean? Because we're talking about love now. We're not talking about someone that's like, okay, serial killer crazy. You know what I'm saying? We're just talking about they breathe in the air of your affection. They they want to be around you as much as they possibly can, and it's genuine. They're not like scary. They're not frightening. They're not doing nothing like that. It's just that you don't have the space to be you. You know what I'm saying? I think that's misdirected. I think that's immaturity in love, I think. You know what I'm saying?
I can agree with that.
Yeah, that's immaturity in love. That may be someone who has never really been in love or never been in love like that. You know what I'm saying?
I can agree with that. And I also think it's another part of that is insecurity. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, I got to and this is my opinion, I could be wrong, I have to be overwhelming with my love for you. And it's genuine. I really feel this way because I'm afraid that you're going to go to somebody else. I may not be sufficient enough for you. You know, I've put a woman on a pedestal before. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, I can't live without, like, if I get this, like she was everything to me. I've done that before. Mm-hmm. And I tell you, since that, and it didn't end well, I've never done it again. And I will never do it again. And I love my life. You know how much I love my wife, excuse me. But that's not happening ever again, because for me, I can survive with anybody leaving me except for Jesus Christ. Right. Other than that, never will I put you on a pedestal. And I think sometimes people misconstrue, you know, my love for my wife, because I'll let them know, listen, my life doesn't end if my wife leaves me. Right. Nor does her life end if I leave her. My life goes on. Yeah. You know, and that's my mindset.
As long as you're flesh and blood, and you cannot guarantee me salvation, you can't promise me anything.
And that's my point.
You don't know what to do.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. So I agree. You can't. You can't put on a pedestal. Like, if you can't, your priorities just have to be straight.
Yeah.
And have to remain straight. You know.
You have to trust her. You have to trust her to do what she said. Here's a food for thought. Trust the person until they've shown you that they're not trustworthy. How about that? Yeah. Until you have concrete proof that they cannot be trusted. Not necessarily. If you got intuition and feeling, you need to pay attention to that feeling and find some confirmation. Right. What's done in the dark will truly come to light over time.
100% of the time.
That's how that goes. That's just how that goes. You have to trust and believe that, you know, that process, I think. And also, you have to trust and believe that process.
And also, don't just be consumed by anger. You know, if things don't turn out right, don't be consumed by anger. God said you were a fool if you are to stay angry. Because you got to understand that you cannot be weary in well-doing. God will not be mocked. You do not have vengeance is mine, says the Lord. You don't have to be vengeful. You need to be able to forgive that and move forward and get over that. No matter what your forward is, if it's on to whatever your forward is, you need to be able to forgive and move forward, because God will not be mocked. You shall reap what you sow. So you don't have to do anything. It's going to take care of itself. Right? It's going to take care of itself. You're going to be able to look back at that and be like, yep, You didn't have to do anything, right? Your temporary relief and what will make you feel good in the moment is nothing compared to what God's going to do.
Nothing. It's minuscule. It's insignificant. And trust me, I've been in situations like that. A lot of times women, they love a guy and they don't want to leave him, but he's hurt them. Or they found out some bad news. So it's like, I'm going to do the get back game. The get back game just makes you further hurt. Because after that feeling or that thought, you're still empty. The feelings are still the same. Now you got some more baggage. And men do it too. You know, I've heard this saying before. The quickest way to get over a girl is on top of another one.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
And the fact of the matter
is, Juvenile said, I'm going to find me some loops to buy a 4Runner.
He did say that. and he probably meant it.
He did say it.
But it's not going to. Listen, when a man loves a woman, I'll tell you another thing that's very attractive. A woman who has confidence in herself, who carries herself. If you can love a man through it, like my wife loved me through it, because men are very slow and stupid and very slow to mature, that man can possibly be the best thing that's ever happened to you and you to him. It's like Dwayne Wade. Everybody told Gabrielle Union to leave him. Like he was wrong. And she was embarrassed in front of the entire world. It's not like she had to deal with this, just a couple friends. The whole world knows who he is, the whole world knows who he is, and the whole world knows he cheated. The girl would say stuff, she would try to embarrass maliciously. Oh, I saw your picture on the side. All that. He got my baby, all that. And yet, she trusts, like, I love him enough to see him through it. And now you tell me who laughing. Who laughing? You got a baby from him, and you may get a check. But I have a baby too, and I have him. I have what's genuinely what I wanted. And what you got? Just another baby daddy. I have a husband. You have a baby daddy? I have a husband. He sees your child every now and again. He sees mine every single day.
Even though Dwayne was gay.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Chase. Now, come listen to it. I don't like what you're saying, Chase.
It is what it is.
I don't think Dwayne Wade is gay.
It ain't no problem. I mean, you can be gay. I don't got no problem with that. My thing is you just trying to hide it. But you're gay, though.
You think Dwayne Wade is gay?
He's 100% gay.
100%
His son's coming out party was his coming out party. Can you see this? Can you see that? You see those toes?
But when is that taken?
Like last week. I screenshot it, sent it to all my homeboy.
That's Dwayne Wade got his toenails painted like a... Oh, my.
Absolutely. Do you see the anklet on his ankle?
I do see that too, Chase. Well, Dwayne Wade, if he ain't gay, he surely got gay tendencies. And, well, in my opinion, bisexual is gay.
His son's coming out party was his come out party.
Oh, his son gay. I told people that his son was gay when the boy was 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it then. Well, if Dwayne Wade is gay, it won't. Hey, listen, he ain't the only one. I mean, I still appreciate what he did on the court. He'll still be my all-time favorite. We just got different tastes and different preferences, homeboy.
Right. I ain't get my toes painted like that, though.
I mean, I done got manicures.
Bro, what?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
And the thing about it, this is no condemnation. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I can't cast aspersions on you. I got my own shortcomings.
I'm just saying, my problem is don't sell no wolf tickets in the locker room. You've been gay this whole time. You know what I'm
saying? I'm just
like you can't play in the NBA that long and then retire and suddenly you getting your toes painted.
No, his toes been getting painted now, and trust me, if he gay, they've known he was gay. Somebody done, Dwight Howard is gay as well.
What Dwight Howard did? What did he do?
You didn't hear about that? The Dwight Howard,
I think I did hear about that.
The dude he was going with showed all the text messages exposing that he gay. I mean, come on, man. If you gay, just that's between you and the Lord. Like, what I got to say about that?
But Dwight Howard was gay because he was so big but so soft.
Like, that's some big soft people.
You like Shaq size, man.
But that's some gay gangsters too, Chase.
But Shaq will put you in the rim, man. How you gonna be that?
But Chase, just because he's soft don't mean Chase. Listen, man, I told you now. Here it is. I'm probably I'll probably get cracked up about this here. But I told you when I was at work, man, that dude had dreads, teacher, straight hood dude told me he wanted to kiss me in my mouth.
Oh yeah, and yeah, when you bust him upside the head with a tough book.
Well, I didn't bust him upside. I told him if he tried that, they're gonna be picking his A up from the grass. So I'm gonna take this and hit you upside your head.
Yeah, it is.
And you can kiss anybody in the mouth who will allow you, but Joker, you barking up the wrong tree. So oh, ain't no doubt. You cannot kiss me in my mouth, Chase. That ain't happening.
I'm gonna kill you.
Boy, you remember Pinky?
Yeah.
I mean, what dude there? You just gonna take it? Damon, you. I'm a boy. The way like that there with the rookies. Boy, we gotta wrap this up, man.
Yeah, man, we gotta go, man. Hey, this has been a great episode. We gonna get, I don't know. We ain't invited to the players ball no more.
No, there's
I'm about to write a letter to Outcast.
I think, well, yeah, I guess. Listen, I ain't got no problem laying my card down. I'm cool with it. Honestly, Chase, you younger than me. Chase, even if I wanted to cheat, I gotta cheat before 8 o'clock at night because I'm going to sleep.
Give me your broken card. Maybe if I put your broken card on my broken card, I can piece something back together.
No, I would keep mine, but just destroy it. All right, homie.
All right, man.
We out. Yes, sir.